Okay, so this new video from my series how to draw interiors from perspective using perspective grids. So here I have some very nice reference. We'll study this kind of practice. I recommend for you. You find some interior, or like any environment, like concept art or scene from movie, from comic book, whatever, just something you like and you want to integrate into your skill, so it will be like your muscle memory, it will be your new visual library kind of. So you can from time to time break down some reference, analyze it, look what is perspectives there. Oh, hello, Hockey Pokey. Hello. Thank you. Так, so. Okay, so here some interesting fancy, it's like superhero hideout. I will make this frame here. So you can consider it as warm-ups, like every day draw at least a couple pictures, and because this will really like make you more and more advanced. It's like nice feel of improvement every time. Cool. Thank you, Hockey Pokey. Yeah, really, thank you for feedback. Yeah, I hope I can make money on this channel, so we'll also appreciate everybody for comments, for support. If you share, like or comment, it's also kind of your support you can do for my work. And of course, if you can afford, also join channel or send super thanks. Like I just got a member on the channel, first member Gabriel Mas. Now he member of Giga Chat. So very cool. Так, so okay, here like first of all, like what we can say, it's 3-point perspective, so-called down shot, so some kind of like a security camera view, and we can see what a structure of vertical axis here. So it's kind of in the center here, it will be just vertical, and on the sides I kind of estimate level of tilt, some kind of this. I have many video for this channel, like in my plan. So many different tutorials. So and then we have here is like two vanishing point perspective situation with it's kind of like if talking about yesterday tutorial, this is kind of 45-45. So if it's like, if you watch yesterday tutorial, so it's like if we have this cube on which each side is equal, like 2, 2 and 2 on each side. So, and this kind of camera angle here in this situation. So, and same like with this cube, it can be like a very strong perspective, like a kind of wide lens, but without curve, without fisheye effect. Or if you draw same box, can be like when you make zoom on camera, so it's like long lens view, right? So this means in this case it's stay within your main field of vision, within like a narrow focus. So I think like this. So take cube out. So here this one will be z-axis and x-axis. So this perspective grid here. Hello, not Jackson. So then I will kind of arranging just like a very kind of vague, uncertain, very general idea of main elements. So what kind of main elements we have here? It's a train here. It's like this. Then here we have this like work area, workstation kind of. And here these tables go around. So I just making this like cloud shapes with very general proportions, because on this stage is important synchronize composition with perspective grid and figure out location, like placement, right? Like where and what size, like general proportion and general location. So going from general to particular, don't rush into making pretty picture. First you need to have like clarify for yourself idea, clarify structure, like so you have better idea, better understanding how things is placed. So this is your foundation for next steps. So better you do this kind of foundational like establishment stage, more comfortable will be for you and more freedom, like resources, energy you will have for creative work on the later stages, you know. So because if you skip this kind of stage, you give yourself too many things to calculate in the process later when you start to draw details, when you work on a finishing look. You need to calculate all these proportions, you need to follow perspective without perspective grid. It just make you overwhelmed. So yeah, this is idea of iterative process, kind of, I don't know, like, so approach. Yeah, so it's kind of general project thinking. I don't know how else to call it. So it's just every serious profession, they have this kind of thing you need to learn at first. It's like a pipeline or proper sequence, so you understand what tool to use, what and what techniques for this tool. Techniques, it means kind of sequence of actions, let's say. Because like you make, for example, like first you paint first layer, it's the first step. Second step, you wait first layer to dry, then you can make second layer properly. So if you ignore second step, okay, then your second layer will be mixed with the first layer, so it will be like it's like you not following technology, you're not following technique, so you will suffer from consequences, kind of. So you need to know technique for result you expect. So every certain result have proper technique for it, and learning process is about learning tools and sequence of actions, kind of how to apply these tools. So kind of practically speaking, it's very simple. It's nothing, you don't need to be genius, you just need to be patient and diligent. This kind of most common problem. People just can't kind of hold themselves and rush too often. Yeah, and especially like when it's emotions involved, so we want like some cool stuff to make and stuff, right? So we don't want it to be like too technical. So you need to find this balance. How to use technique for your joy, not to become machine, not become a robot yourself, but using machines, using robots for your tasks, kind of. And this means you need to have your own goals and plan, make your plan. So now, like, I go into more clarifying into details. It's like give like general idea for more small elements, like what kind of tables where make some implications. And also, like right now, what I practice reconstruction. I'm not copy this. I recreating. So, and because I'm doing this, I recreating it not with like 100% accuracy. I just look what I want redraw and what I can ignore. And here is kind of moment of my creativity, because I choose kind of for fun, like what I like to draw, what I like to experience kind of right now, like what I want to kind of to get this experience of drawing it, creating this environment. Because kind of this idea is not mine, right? Somebody designed. But still, because I recreating it, for me, I get an experience of me creating this interior, because I myself kind of creating the space I place in these objects. So I get actual experience of building interior, building this kind of this sort of environment, this kind of hideout for superhero, or what's this, some kind of Iron Man basement. And I practice my Blender skills, kind of 3D modeling with pencil, because it really feels like if I'm making 3D model. It's like there is no ability to rotate pencil sketch, but it really feels like making 3D model. Exactly, it's like I have this 3D space and I have 3D objects here. So, and I place in objects, and then I put textures on objects. So even at some point it's easier and faster to draw like this than making a 3D model, you know. Sometimes feels too slow and too boring to make in 3D models, because you need to make so many like procedures with this clicking menus and sitting with the mouse, you know. It's so kind of procedural and boring, kind of sit and make a model. But when I draw, it's much more engaging, much more fun in this process. Hello, Avelha. How to transfer scale characters in 3-point perspective from ground to window. Yeah, to draw, to transfer people in perspective, it's kind of very basic technique. It's just example again of practicing basic skill, which is like in almost every book about perspective, and I have tutorial about this too. But okay, I will make video about 5-point perspective and how to draw people in there, like how to place them in different locations. So it's like one people standing on the ground, other people on the roof or in the window, this kind of thing. It's like, if shortly speaking, it's just like a move in a box. Okay, anyway, thank you for question. I will do video about this. If any other request, also write. I'm not do like always every request, but sometimes I do some. So you know, like always it should match my schedule, kind of my plan and my interest, and when it match I make video for sure. And I have already a bunch of video from subscribers requests, like about Amao, about Masamune Shiro. I have video. It's also people asking. Also I did, yeah, this tutorial about sketching nature, how to draw nature with line art. I got requests for these videos. So now, like when I have general idea of stuff, you see I can like draw big forms and kind of attach to them smaller forms. So it's like I have table and I can draw something, I kind of like put stuff on a table. It's just so fun. It's different from drawing lines. I'm not just drawing lines, I'm really place table here with I using kind of lines as my like software, kind of, you know. So instead of using Blender or 3D Max, I use on paper and pencil with ink, but I'm actually making a 3D model, not like lines, they're just render of 3D model. In my head it's all 3D. So it's really very essential is how you perceive, how you define kind of what are you doing. And this is kind of actual essence of your work. This actual meaning of your work is first of all how, like, your own definition of your work. And even if you're not aware of it, or even if a viewer not aware of it, but they always experience it. So this is kind of one of the core thing we are deliver with our work, or we are kind of our message or our expression, kind of what we deliver with our work is what was the reason for us for making this work, like how we define this work, like it was like you making some lines to make illusion of something, or you use lines as a mean to render 3D environment and 3D objects. So it's totally different quality of it's kind of you're doing totally different things, and this will be in your work, and you can see it in a different artist work too. So like what artist been doing, like what he were thinking about what he's doing. So that's why like your focus should be not only in making visuals, but also in way you're thinking, how you thinking, what is your ideas, what is your like interpretation of anything, like what you're doing, a process. Narrative, story you tell and stuff. This is what making your kind of personal work. It's kind of your let's say result of your work, your artworks. It's a trace of your thinking. It's just evidence of what is happening in your mind. So should never forget that. So that's why also practice kind of learning from other artists is to learn their thinking, like kind of their way of thinking. Like you don't need to be like agree with everything, or you don't need to like completely understand, but you really need to listen what they're talking about, how they're defining, what are they doing. So it's funny, you know, like I did many exhibitions, I've been teaching, and I've seen sometimes like people like almost like in front of me, they're like kind of trying to learn from my work, just watching me drawing. It's so funny, like it's like, what can you learn from watching? It's like if I will trying to learn language by listening people talk. Okay, yeah, like it will take my life to learn language this way. So you can just ask me like why I did that, like what's this idea, and what does mean for me and stuff like this. And like I say, it's like actually is not even if you're not really understand kind of what in the mind of other artists, which most likely you will never understand, the kind of act of trying of it, like just like approach to understanding this kind of thinking process behind, give you some idea which is very useful and practical. So I can imagine like many people, well, like everybody watch Miyazaki, all this animation, and I'm sure it's like there's so many cultural stuff in his work which is only Japanese can understand. All people who know Japan culture, all this like Shinto religion and all this stuff. But still everybody have some idea and theories and vision of his work. I can only imagine like how much he's surprised to hear people interpretations. So also when I use this approach, when I recreating instead of copying, it's relieve me, like, yeah, one is very relieving because it's not so, I don't need to follow every line, it's not so many restrictions and requirements kind of, right? But also I have more freedom of choice. So if I don't understand something or I don't like something, I can move it around, or I can completely take it out from picture. Or I can replace with something other stuff. Which is also actually a common advice. Teacher always talking about this. It's like never draw what you not understand. And also we have kind of a very practical technique for this. If you see something you not sure what is this, like, and you have no, like, you cannot study it, like if in real life you can walk around, you can look closer, but if like as some reference you cannot see clearly, you can just kind of make shadow or like a white out, you know. So it's like when you see how artists like not draw lines, you know, this kind of, when you only make line for something you see clearly, you understand, and you completely ignore something which is not certain, not clear, so it's kind of like white space for it. So this approach is better than just drawing nonsense lines. So you see, kind of I can put different boxes anywhere, like pizza box here. Then this thermos kind of with the water. I mean, it's really fun. It's just placing stuff around. It feels like you're when you were drawing in a childhood and just drawing like sticky figures and stuff, but now with 3D. So I read this like many years ago in Kim Jong-il interview. When he was talking about this, he said it's kind of threshold, kind of like when you need to hard work for a first period, like when you very new for perspective, and it's very very complicated, very unknown for you, and it's like it's crazy struggle, but you work hard, you get through it, and then you get to space when it's very fun, and you just enjoy drawing 3D stuff and 3D in this perspective. So if you feel like it's very frustrating, it's like very exhausting, just because you are in the beginning. So it's kind of normal to be overwhelmed on a beginning stage. So, and later when you will like get through it, like when you will, let's say, like patient and dedicated enough to not give up and get through it, then you will be just kind of in another place. You will be in a new space where you are a new, better person, for who it's very easy and fun. Because like it's just, let's say, kind of actual I did here okay, no problem. So it's kind of let's say level, professional level, right? It's like where you not struggle with the technique anymore. Your struggle is only about message. This is where you need to go, you know. So because if you still kind of worry about how to make things properly, how to draw stuff in perspective, how to make sure this look correct, it just means you're kind of beginner, and you need to kind of, you need to get, you need to understand, kind of, you need to gain like real clear throughout kind of complete understanding of what are you doing, and then you will actually have like real creative level. Is when you don't spend any more resources for making things right. You make them right automatically. It's not problem anymore for you. It should be like a problem. It's like kind of like how to create nuances, like some special overtones, some certain flavors, like you start to work on effects, like how to make exact effects, how to deliver a message, feeling, mood. And because you will not need to stop all the time, it's like, oh, something wrong here. This quality of like refinement will go to like unbelievable level, like through the roof, you know. And this, yeah, this is little idealistic image I telling you, because like you can say, if you look closely, there is no living artist kind of who is like completely this way. But I think actually there are some like just insane level. It's just kind of like blow your mind, right? So you just look at this and I can imagine like how it's possible, and people start to made up some theories about like cheat codes, like how they cheating and stuff. No, there is really insane masters who just super experienced and smart over technical aspects, and they're also very creative. I mean, again, like, yeah, let's say like Aaron Blaze, just let's say for most obvious example on the surface, let's say. It's just amazing to see like how he can draw animals and people in perspective and animation, like, wow. Or you look sculptures of Michelangelo, I mean, just how human ever can do anything like that. So no matter like to which level or depth kind of technique you will get, it's kind of just true about this, that is always better if you have better technique. It's just a fact. It's a nonsense when people say like, oh, it's like too many like knowledge of anatomy will destroy your creativity and stuff. No, it's just it's only lack of knowledge and lack of practice ruin your creativity. Because problem like anatomy is a problem for people who struggle with it. For people who learn it and practice it, it's just higher level of drawing people. Now you can draw them with all these layers, all these contacts. You can like considering muscles, considering all these kind of forms underneath. So just don't push yourself, like, I mean, like, don't punish yourself too much, like, if you're not there yet. Just it's, from my point of view, it's important to be honest with yourself. So just to see where like, where is the real issues. So where is your problem? Is because you have lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of practice. And where is your problem? Because you are like I don't know, like afraid to tell something personal in your work, which is like, actually, you know, I figure out as like a list of the problems, you know. It's kind of example of how people like shift focus from important things to something really secondary, or like super least important about this, like freedom of self-expression. It's like, oh, you should to be brave to show what inside of your stuff. What are you even talking about? This complete nonsense. Because, like, realistically speaking, you just need to be brave to finish your work. Just, you need to be brave, just sit and do something. This would actually kind of happen, like, people just avoid doing things. People avoid uncomfortable experience of, like, possibility of failure. It's not about your feelings, it's not about your inner world, about your personal experience or whatever. It's just procrastination, laziness, fear of rejection, like not kind of rejection for your inner world, rejection for being not perfect, kind of, because you're so spoiled by your kind of let's say your comfort zone, kind of your comfort circle, where everybody cheering you up, everybody like supporting you, and now you need to do something which might be not considered like great for everybody, you know, like, because you want to do it not for your mother or your best friends, so there is no guarantee people will like it. People might ignore it, people might criticize it, or you just kind of might feel like, honestly, like how flawed your work is, because you're a beginner, so you cannot be like always smartest and like winner. So this is kind of issue. People just don't do stuff. It's not about self-expression, it's just about being productive, being active, being proactive, right? So it's like you doing stuff because you decided, because you say, I want to do it, I plan it, I started, and now I finishing it. This is what most of people avoid. And in the creativity, what to think about creativity, because it's only you. It's only you who can tell yourself to do the stuff. It's no obligation. You can just go and work somewhere, and most people will do it. And being artist is kind of being an entrepreneur in a sense. You need to be like your own manager, your own company. Yeah. And then, like, how you share your feelings and your experience within this stuff, again, it's kind of similar to everything else. Let's say you're working as teacher, right? And you just love your work. You are very passionate about this. You are like very emotional, excited, just because you're enjoying to like prepare for classes, make like all this research, rehearsal of your class. You enjoy to meet students. You like to see like their perspective on things, how they can help you to see your subject kind of from different angles. You enjoy to see like potential, like who they might become, so it's kind of like, for example, like when you work with teacher, what you kind of should realize, and I think like every good teacher, of course they know this, it's kind of like a time machine. You practically talking with future. You are like facing future. All these children, it's your future. They will grow up and they can become anyone. They can become doctors, will save your life, or they can become like some government workers, army, firefighters, anyone. So of course it might be very exciting. And anything else, like your just your emotions is your also kind of quality for your dedication. It's kind of what is how it's defined. Like it's kind of reason why you're doing stuff. Why it's kind of why you're engaging, kind of, right? Because if you don't have passion, okay, you will be like bouncing ball. You just boom, and you lost, kind of. Nobody see you anymore. But if there is interest for you, you're doing this stuff. You show up. You're digging. There's need to be a lot of energy and passion for rigorous work. So it's not about your feeling about favorite colors or favorite ice cream. It's kind of nonsense, a complete nonsense. It's about your feeling of some field of work, like feel your like passion to real stuff, to real for making something, for working on something, to contribute to, yeah, like kind of make your contribution, let's say. Down here, it's interesting, have Superman suit. Okay, so it's interesting. Select suit with mechanical frame. Kind of forget what it's called. Exosuit. Yeah, exoskeleton. Here. second. We'll back in a minute. Some more boxes, just random boxes somewhere. Guess here. So I did yesterday tutorial about rotation and perspective. You should watch it. It's like many information in one video. Really will help you to kind of save your time and give you fast improvement in your perspective drawing. Cycle. Also, in my Patreon there is my book about drawing motorcycles, like a work in progress, and I every week post new pages from a book I'm working in. It's like many very specific and unique information about how to draw motorcycles in perspective, and just about motorcycles construction. Here's some kind of blanket motorcycle. So also, if you become a member of this channel, you can join my Discord. We can talk there. Even I think there even like a video call. But also I like this function of audio rooms kind of, so even can make like live streams with audio conversations. Так. Oh, another table. So can I chair here? Also, this kind of moments is important, like tables and chairs, doors, windows, like I tell last time. Make sure you make them interactive, so it's kind of, it can feels it's possible to use this door, or it's possible to sit in this chair, work on a table. So it will give more experience for viewer, more interactive aspects, kind of, because viewer can imagine like he walking within this space, like he interact with the objects within this space. Something he can hold, he can manipulate. That's important. So every time when I, like I told before, if you watched before, so when I draw outdoors, like my urban sketches, travel sketches, same, I always want to make sure there is something for viewer to interact. So it's not some kind of walk and wobble lines, but there is actual items, actual objects. So if there is car, it's kind of like you're drawing it with idea, kind of, to make it look like you can sit inside this car, like you can drive this car, like door can be open and somebody will go out from this car. It's kind of, don't need to be too crazy about this, but just having this in mind and having this intention already change quality a lot. And so often, like, how improvements actually work. Improvements is your intention, and so you kind of, like, over a time, through repetition kind of attempt, so you kind of keep trying to get what you want, right? To fulfill kind of this expectation, this like materialize your intentions, and it's kind of higher than your possibilities, and you slowly get in there. This is how you improve. So often, like, it's a so general principle, and actually, like, just this is often is enough for improvement. Like, I see a lot of self-taught people who have kind of problem with theory, like they don't like to read much technical stuff, so they learn through their own experience, through practice, with intention. So they have intention to kind of reach some very high quality, and they keep practice with this in mind. So every time they become closer and closer and closer, because you keep kind of aiming towards this, like, high achievement, right? So you keep getting closer and closer, because you're, like, you making this feedback loop when you look in your result and you ask questions like why is not way I want it, like why, how can I make it better, how I can make it get these qualities I need, I want in my work. So just like this, making like small improvements every time, just a bit drop by drop, you know, kind of, you inevitably will improve. And results, often you can see results are insane. People doing crazy progress just with this kind of approach. It's basically it's only way how we improve. But then, like theory and being into subject, kind of, to learn from others, it just give you more contacts, you know, so it's just give you more options, and also can be like a faster way to improvement. This one. Northern Wolf Kingdom from Mohammed CDL. Так. So where is this? Just a little shading. Так. So same here, like we have 3 vanishing points, down shot. Так. So this will be the axis. And x, where's x? Kind of this. And again, arrange composition, put main elements in composition. So see. Have here a group of columns, like 6 pillars here. This. Then here about here on this area on the ground, here carpet, and then we have stairs. Kind of wolves statues here. Dun, dun, dun. So here again, like I showed before, I make it very loose, very general, and if I see mistakes I leave them there because it's because later I just can avoid them when I will ink. So it's especially a stage for making mistakes, so I can see where to avoid them on a later stage. Oh, so many stairs for king to walk up this throne. He must be in a good shape, not fat one. So working out king. Here, one more flick and dude. On this side also have 4 figures. 4 figures here. here columns being cut for kind of to make the view. Then let's make here some super mutant. And his friends. So they go to visit King. For this needs some epic music. Let me find something. Let's make him head here. Так. Here's this flex. So kind of a little loose, but still with same kind of practice, building stuff in perspective. And like when you draw small size, makes a small size kind of analysis is just faster, so you can make more images. So make sure you've seen my yesterday tutorial. It's like finally I make this tutorial about rotating objects in perspective. It's like big tutorial about all rotating operations, and then I will do some small tutorials to describe each chapter, each kind of chapter I covered yesterday in the tutorial. So it's like how to rotate camera, so have different view from different angle, then how to rotate objects according to viewer or according to camera, and how to rotate objects relative to each other. Have so many pillows. Imagine how much laundry need to make for all this. Pillow Kindle. cat wake up. Так. Kind of. So outside is like evening, so windows dark here. So kind of this interior studies for today. See you tomorrow. See you next videos. So you push like, share, subscribe channel, and like.